Welcome back to another Mum's Night Out coffee catch up with me, Rachel. Today is International Women's Day, and so I wanted to speak a little bit about that this morning. Now, I could list a whole load of wonderfully inspiring women that I learn from. You know, the list could be endless. Michelle Obama, Fern Cotton, Brené Brown, Mel Robbins, Gabby Bernstein. Just far too many to even list, and that's not even beginning to start on friends and family members who also inspire me too. But I thought today I would talk a little bit about something different, and that is about the next generation of inspiring women, because I think that really that is so important, because our children, the next generation, are the women who, you know, will be making changes, creating differences in the world. And whilst as a mother, I do feel a sense of responsibility raising children and into this world and wanting to teach them the right lessons and to share with them the right experiences. But actually, what I think can be almost more important is to stop and look at what we can learn from them. Our children often show us glimpses of ourselves, of how we were pre-life happening to us. When you're a young child, often life is simpler and you see things much more clearly and you see things in black and white. And that is certainly what I learn when I look at my children, and the way in which they view problems and the way in which they view things that are going on in the world is a much more simplified version. And I think that we can really learn a lot from them because of that. We accrue a lot of baggage in our lives as we get older. Negative experiences or emotional hang-ups that cloud a lot of our decisions and that cloud a lot of our thoughts. And so we can find ourselves in this cycle of worry or overthinking, because anything we look at is coloured by our own sort of negative experiences or various different experiences that we've had in our lives. Whereas for our children, when they're young, they're yet to have a lot of those experiences, and so their reactions are much more straightforward, and they know what they want and they know what they like and they know what they don't like. And it can be frustrating as a parent sometimes when you are wanting them to do something and they are just flat out refusing. But really, let's look at that and unpack it a little bit and see that really they know their minds, and that is actually a really good thing. My daughter has always been very strong-willed, and I remember as a toddler saying, oh my goodness, like, this girl knows her mind. She knows what she wants. She is very determined. And it drives you mad sometimes when you're trying to do things and they don't just comply. But I always stop to say to myself, I'm going to be really, really grateful for this trait when she gets older. And that actually has stood me in good stead, because it's true, because you want your children to know their mind. You want them to stand up for themselves, and you want them to be able to make clear decisions based on their real gut emotional feel. And I think that is something we lose as we get older, that ability to listen to our gut that really our children have. And so we should be encouraging them, and that is one thing I think is a lesson that I really do take from watching them, is to celebrate the fact that they can make those strong decisions and have those really clear ideas of what they do and don't like, and let them know that that's a good thing. Because I think the danger is that we try to suppress that. We want them to fit in and we want them to behave and be polite, and then what happens is we suppress that sort of innate ability that they have to stand up for themselves and to know their minds and to make clear decisions. So I think that for me is the main lesson that we can take from our daughters, from all our children, is allow them to make those decisions and celebrate those strong-willed natures that they have, and realize that this is a good trait that is going to set them in great stead for the future. And I think another lesson that I certainly learned from my daughter is just the resilience and the determination that she shows. If she sets her mind to something and she wants to do it, she does it. And, she doesn't take any prisoners. She just keeps going and keeps going, and she will get there. And whilst there's a part of me, I guess the sort of people pleaser part of me that thinks, oh my goodness, like she's so single-minded, so single-focused, and perhaps needs to be a bit more aware of everyone else and what's going on. But then there's another part of me that just looks with absolute pride and admiration and just thinks, wow, like you go for it, girl. Like you know what you want and you know what you don't want, and you are not going to let anybody tell you otherwise. And I think that is a remarkable trait and certainly something we should celebrate and learn from our daughters. So with that in mind, happy International Women's Day. Go celebrate all those wonderful women doing wonderful good in the world, especially those little women on their way up to make massive changes in this world.